Hi folks, welcome to the land of Mixolydian. It's a weird word, but it doesn't have to be that scary. With what we've learnt so far, we have now got this universal shape that we can move around. I'll just recap as quickly as I can. So we have begun by taking our minor pentatonic shape. That's where we live, that's where we're comfortable as blues hounds. One of the things that we figured out was we can move that down 3 frets, stay in that same key. We're doing this in the key of A, and by staying in the same key down there, that gives us the major pentatonic, right? And that's what modes is all about. We take one scale that we already know, we just shift it to another spot. So what's going on now is we are taking this same shape that we used for the natural minor. We've moved it down 3 frets, stayed in the same key. That's given us our major scale, or Ionian mode. What we're going to do this time is we can take that very same shape. Let's go back to the natural minor shape in A at the 5th fret. What we're going to do is we're going to move that forwards 2 frets. So this is going to be kind of like playing B minor against A. All right. Start with the A and then shift to that B and then play that natural minor scale. That gives you Mixolydian in the key of A. I'm going to play a little chord progression here in just a second, just to give you a bit of a taste of the flavour of that. I think it's in there. I think it's good to go. Yes, it is. Down to G, D7, back to A. So I'm playing around that B minor shape. Right, so if you had a little jam session like this with some kind of song that goes like that, so A down to G, D, back to A. So it's like if you're in a major key, if you've got a song that's got dominant 7 chords in there, you could use Mixolydian against it. Or if you've got a chord progression that goes down to that, say the next major chord, 2 frets down. All right, so we're in the key of A, that means going down to G. But we could be in the key of C, it would mean going down to B flat. You know what I mean? Like 2 frets down from your home chord. If my home chord was E, I mean going 2 frets down and playing a major chord, which would be D. Right? You can move this anywhere. Everything's movable. Back to A. A, G, now I'm playing a D7 chord, and then back to A. So this I can play Mixolydian scale over. So what I just did was playing some licks around that, like that B minor natural kind of shape. I'll do a little bit more. And then I'll go up. Right, all I did was go up and down the scale, but you can hear all of those notes fit. Right at that 5th fret, the other thing we'll want to do is figure out what are those notes right there? What would that scale look like in that home position? All right, so this will actually be our number 1 position for Mixolydian. So let's find those same notes. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G natural, and there's A. If we keep going, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G natural, A. So it doesn't look that much different to what we learned when we did the major scale, the only difference is that one note. The 7th note is flattened, and then you've got your octave there. So this is, so right here, this is what bass players use all the time. They do riffs like this. You know that riff? It's Mixolydian mode, right? So it's a big, scary, weird, foreign sounding word, but you use it all the time. You hear it all the time. You get these sort of riffs as well. Mixolydian mode, or that's almost the same riff, isn't it? Alright, it's rock and roll. So if you're playing blues and you're in a major key and you want to play modally against it, Mixolydian could be the one that you're after. I hope this is useful. I'm just going to keep playing this little chord progression here, just to give you a taste of what it might sound like. But thanks a lot. That's Mixolydian mode. I'll be back with another one real soon. Mix it up with your regular blues. Mixolydian. That's Major Pentatonic. Minor Pentatonic. Mixolydian. It's too much fun. Alright, I'll see you later. Hi, I'm back again. Just a little epilogue on this Mixolydian thing. If you've been shown this before, or you may have seen other videos on it where they show this same scale but in a completely different way, and you might think, hang on, that's not how I was shown it. There's another way to do this scale. So we've just looked at it like that. So you see that? Completely different shape, but exactly the same sound. So how does that work? All you need to do is find those same notes, or the same intervals from your root note. And in this case it's A. And please remember, we're doing all of this in the key of A because it's in the middle of the neck, but you can move this anywhere you like. That's why I like to think of it as scale shapes. Right, so you move the entire shape around, and you'll be able to change keys that way. But I digress. So we decided our number one shape was like that, based around that 5th fret, and suits those kind of those sort of blues R&B kind of riffs. So this other shape that I did, going forwards. So look at that. So what happens, you can find exactly the same notes. So we've still got A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, and there's A. But see how it's all like everything is 2 frets apart. It's all tones when you do it like that, which is kind of cool. And I'm just going from string to string. So from A down on the low E, just like that. So everything's 2 frets apart. do exactly the same on the next string, on the A string, and then you do that there. And then if you're going to keep going up, you've got from A to B there, it's another two fret spacing. So look at that shape there. Alright, so you can think of it as a shape that you can move around. So if I wanted to do that in the key of C, I just move up A, B flat, B, C. And then it's still a Mixolydian mode, but it's in the key of C. So this one, if you've been shown it before and you have seen that kind of shape, which is completely different to what we're doing with the blues and R&B stuff, that's the one that the shred guys like. Alright, so you're, who's the guy? Joe Satriani and Guthrie Govan and Eddie Van Halen, people like that. Right, so you can do really fast runs like that. It's not my style, I don't really know how to get the right sound out of it, but that may work for you. So that's another way to do it. And then you continue up the fretboard. That's what it then looks like on the D and the G string. Like it's more of that same shape. So it's like because succession of those sorts of shapes, it's not my expertise, but I just thought I'd show that to you, just in case that that was kind of throwing you off and you're thinking, that's not what the Mixolydian looks like to me. If that works for you, go for it. For me, I like this idea of just moving that minor shape, up 2 frets. Kind of like, I'm still getting the same. Just to prove I am. Still the same sound. It's the same notes. So it just depends on what works for you. The main thing to remember is that's what the notes are. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A. Remember that as a shape and then move it to whichever key you want. If I do it at C sharp, now I'm playing in C sharp. Alright, I hope that makes sense. There you go. That's it. Mixolydian. That's it for now. Promise you. Alright, see you later. Bye.